Ugh, this weird bit of hair today. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie and you can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet as Miss Lavelli, although I'm most active on Instagram. I also host a weekly knitting and sewing and basically crafty podcast on this channel every week called Inside Number 23. But for today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Make 9 challenge that I'm going to be taking part in this year. So this is my first time ever taking part in the Make 9 challenge. It was originally invented by an incredible crafter of the interwebs, that is Rochelle of the amazing blog Lucky Lucille, and she now has the Home Fibre Co company. She is amazing. I'll put all of her details in the drop-down menu just down below if you would like to check her out. So this is where the idea came from originally, but basically Make 9 in its essence is you choosing 9 different projects that you would like to focus on for the year ahead and seeing whether or not you can achieve creating all 9 of those things. So I decided this year that I wanted to take part in Make 9 for a couple of different reasons. One, because I really like starting the year with a game plan. That type of thing really resonates with me and makes me really happy. But for the biggest reason is kind of that I've got a lot of different patterns and yarns and fabrics in my stash that I've accumulated over many years of being a crafty type person. And a lot of the time, I don't know about you, but when I've had something in the stash for a long time, I tend to forget that it's there and I get really overcome with new things. So new fabric that's being produced, new patterns that are being released, new yarns that have been released, and I just forget about what I already have and just want the newest thing and the newest thing and the newest thing. And it's put me in a bit of a pattern of just accumulating new things rather than using what I have, and that's a habit that I would really like to break out of, because basically pretty much every single project that I have selected for my Make 9 challenges being the operative word, because I have done 9 sewing bits and pieces and 9 knitting bits and pieces for Make 9. So I have a sewing and a knitting Make 9 challenge is for myself, because I thought that this would be a really good way of me going back to the stash, really focusing on what I want out of the fabrics and bits and pieces that I currently have and actually using them. And if I don't use them, then they're going to be donated or given to other people, and I'm getting them out of the house because I just really want to recenter myself, I guess, when it comes to stash and bits and pieces. But that's enough rabbiting on, I think, about why I'm doing the Make 9 challenge this year, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk you through some of the projects that I hope to get completed in 2018. Something you should be aware of is for my Make 9 of 2018, I am not just picking things that I haven't started. There are a couple of projects that have snuck in which are already in progress. And that is because I am the type of person who has a lot of languishing whips. So I want to get those things finished. Some things will be coming out of the woodwork to get finished in 2018. And that's just because I want the finished object so much. So the first pattern that I have selected for my Make 9 is the Rosa Dress by Tilly and the Buttons. The Rosa Dress, this dress here, has been in my stash since long before I started at Tilly and the Buttons. I absolutely love this. The dress is the version I will be focusing on. I think that this is really gorgeous. It's a very lovely shape. It's very flattering. Whenever I see someone wearing this pattern, I just think that they look wonderful. And I've had fabric in mind for this dress forever. The fabric that I have earmarked for this project is actually this gorgeous plaid fabric. This had made an appearance on the podcast previously. I think I told you guys that I was wanting to make a Rosa dress out of this, so that is why it's on the Make 9 list. It's been in the back of my brain for the longest time to make a really lovely snuggly plaid Rosa dress, and I want to make that a reality this year. This plaid is some beautiful brushed cotton, which I purchased from John Lewis. I know that this is probably going to be a bit of a challenge to sew because I am a real stickler for wanting all of my plaid to match when I'm sewing, and there are a lot of seams in the Rosa dress that I will want to match beautifully. But I also have a navy blue chambray that I would like to make a Rosa dress out of. It is currently drying, so I can't share it with you, but it's just navy blue. It's not that interesting, but I think I will make the chambray version first, just to make sure that I get all of the fitting issues out of the way, and then I can use the pattern and all of the adaptations that I make on it from that version to then crack on with the plaid version. So yes, this is gonna be gorgeous. Number 2 of my make 9 is something again that I have talked about a lot on the podcast, because I have been wanting to make myself a pair of jeans for the longest time, and for some reason I have just never bitten the bullet and got on with it. I actually purchased the pattern for the ginger jeans quite a while ago, and I have been wanting to make this pattern for the longest time. It is by Closet Case Patterns. I'm a very, very big fan of the Closet Case patterns. I have made their pajamas previously and I just loved them, and I have heard incredible things about the ginger jeans pattern. In terms of the fabrics that I'm using, it's just going to be a lovely indigo denim. Again, it's currently being washed, so I can't share it with you, but it was purchased from Guthrie and Ghani at the Sew and Be Live last year. I actually purchased one of their specific kits to make these jeans, and the lovely thing about it was, excuse the rustling, but it came with a full set of notions that includes absolutely everything that you need to make these jeans. So basically making my life as simple as possible. It has rivets and buttons and zips and basically everything that you need to make jeans, even top stitching thread, top stitching needles, and needles specifically designed for sewing denim and jeans. So I'm very, very excited to finally crack that open and get on with my jeans, because I need them in my wardrobe very desperately. You are looking at a woman who literally has 0 pairs of trousers in their wardrobe at all, and I would like to change that this year. Project number 3 is another Tilly and the Buttons pattern that's been in my stash for quite some time. It is the Zadie dress. This is a dress that is made out of stretch fabric. It's made out of kind of heavier weight Ponte de Roma style stretch fabric, and I just love this dress. It has pockets. It's a really, really lovely pattern in terms of the colour blocking that you can do, and talking of colour blocking, that is what I have in mind for this pattern. Before I started working at Tilly's, I actually purchased a kit for this very dress, which uses a selection of different coloured fabrics. It uses a combination of this lovely light grey marled Ponte de Roma and this dark grey marled Ponte de Roma, and it also has a little shot of cerise. So it will have, the body of the dress will be the 2 different greys, and the neckline will be the little shot of cerise. I love this. I think this will be a real staple for me. I'll be able to wear it at work. It's a lovely dress to wear at the weekends, to wear to go out, and I also think it would be really nice and cozy to wear in kind of autumn, winter. I mean, look at this fabric. It's so gorgeous. Project number 4 is a little bit interesting because I've been wanting for a while to get back into sewing outerwear. When I first started sewing, I actually sewed a lot of coats and jackets and capes. I have a real thing for tailoring. I absolutely love it. So the first kind of outerwear project that I would like to crack on with this year, just reaching to grab my pattern, was actually a birthday gift this year, which is the Luzerne trench coat. Isn't it gorgeous? This is a pattern by Deer and Doe, my favourite Deer and Doe, who did the pattern for the Blue dress, which I absolutely adore. And yeah, I just thought this trench coat was absolutely adorable, but I just thought this would make a really nice kind of spring coat, something a little bit lighter, which is severely lacking in my current wardrobe. I have some really, really lovely fabric for this as well. I have this beautiful waxed cotton fabric in this really vibrant blue colour. It's almost kind of blued bell, forget-me-not blue, and it's so lovely. I think it will make the most beautiful trench coat. And I kind of have this idea of me looking a little bit like a female Newt Scamander in this trench coat, a little dream of mine, but have this fabric in the stash and it is 100% destined to become a trench coat. So yeah, oh, I love waxed cotton. It has such a nice feel to it. So trench coat coming. My fifth pattern for Make 9 is also something that I purchased a kit from Guthrie and Ghani for, and it is the Linden Sweatshirt. This is an incredibly popular pattern. It's by Grainline Studios and it is a raglan style sweatshirt. And as a knitter, yes, I do knit an awful lot of sweaters and cardigans and I love them, but sometimes you just want a kind of really cozy, snuggly tracksuit style jumper. And when I saw this fabric at the Sewing Bee Live this year, I just had to have it. It's this beautiful kind of marled pale blue sweatshirt. It's gorgeous and snuggly and so soft. If you could just feel how soft the inside of this fabric is, you would lose it a little bit, I'm sure. The best thing about buying this fabric from Guthrie and Ghani is it wasn't a kit, and it also came with all of the notions for this project. So the thread that you need, stretch needles, so jersey needles, but it also comes with a twin needle, which is not something that I've ever used before finishing, but I'm really excited to try it with this lovely fabric and this gorgeous pattern. So I'm very, very much looking forward to making a really snuggly sweatshirt out of this. The next pattern that I've selected is a kind of really, really well-known pattern that everybody seems to have made other than myself, but they have recently rebranded this pattern and re-released it in new packaging, and I couldn't resist it any longer. It is the Colette Zinnia Skirt. This is a really, really lovely simple gathered skirt that comes in 3 different lengths in this pattern, and I love it. I think that for what I am planning, I will most likely be making the mini skirt length to start off with, but I definitely see more of these in my future in terms of the knee length with the buttons down the front. I think it's beautiful, but the fabric that I have earmarked for this is this gorgeous plaid. I am a big fan of plaid, as you all know if you've been watching my podcast for a while, but this plaid I purchased at the Handmade Fair this year, and I do have a lot of yardage here. It's not just going to be for this skirt. I also think I'll be making a dress from this as well, but it's so beautiful, these kind of russet colours with the dark black. I need more separates in my wardrobe, and I do think that this will go with so many things that I currently have in terms of knitted projects and also sewing projects as well. So this will be a zinnia skirt to start off with. I think rather than doing a gathered version, I will go for the pleated version. I think that that will look really, really cute with this plaid, and I will most likely be doing inseam pockets, and I can't wait. It's going to be a really cute project and hopefully relatively quick to sew up. My next 2 projects are the works in progress that have snuck in to this series of patterns. The first one is another Colette Patterns pattern, and it is the penny dress. I purchased this year thinking that I was going to make a penny dress to wear for my birthday, and that never ended up happening because I didn't have enough time, and I have had this dress sitting in my sewing room for ages, and it's kind of embarrassing how close to being finished this is. I've done the main construction on almost the entire dress. This beautiful golden chaffinch fabric was purchased from Fabric Godmother, one of my favourite online fabric suppliers, and I've done a huge amount. This is a shirt dress and I just love it. It's so pretty, but I didn't have time to make it for my birthday, which felt like a real shame. And I've also realised that I need to do a little bit of tweaking on the fitting of the skirt in order to make sure that my seams line up. It needs the collar to be added to it, and then it needs all of the buttons and the buttonholes to be added. I also cut it at a longer length you can see here how long this skirt is, then will be flattering for my body type. When I'm wearing a skirt that is as full as this, because this is fully gathered into the waist, it needs to be a little bit shorter, otherwise I just look like I have no legs whatsoever. So it doesn't have much to do in order for it to be finished, but it's enough for it to be frustrating and for me to not really want to pick it up. So I've added it to my Make 9 for 2018 because I want it finished, I want it in my wardrobe, and I think that once it is done, it will be something that I gravitate towards a little bit more and do wear. For those of you who've been long-term viewers of the podcast, it's going to be absolutely no surprise to you why I chose my penultimate pattern for Make 9. This pattern is definitely the longest languishing whip that I have had in my sewing room, and it is the Cascade duffel coat. I have had this coat cut out for several years now. It's actually entirely cut out and in pieces and in a bag, so I haven't brought it out to show it to you, but it's a combination of a beautiful blue-green Harris tweed with a lovely red and blue tartan for the lining, and it's going to be glorious. But I just never got off my butt and finished it. I'm going to be doing this version at the bottom, the slightly longer version with the hood, and it is going to be wonderful. It will be a staple in my wardrobe, I'm absolutely sure. So fingers crossed, guys. Think happy thoughts for me for this pattern, because you all know how long it's been coming, and I know that you guys will be just as glad for it to finally get a little bit more airtime on the podcast. I have one more pattern for my Make 9 challenge, and that is the Ebony top/dress by Closet Case Patterns. I purchased fabric for this, I believe at the Handmade Fair last year. It's this really lovely mustard apricot acorn print fabric. My goodness, where did apricot come from? And I originally wanted to make the full dress version of this pattern. However, when I started laying the pattern pieces out and getting ready to cut the fabric, I realized pretty quickly that I wasn't going to have the yardage that I wanted in order to make that version. So I will be making this version, which is the high-low hem version, which is designed to be worn with either jeans. That was just a load of patterns falling to the floor. Either jeans or leggings. And seeing as I wear a lot of leggings because they're super comfy and they're nice and thick and warm and just really nice, and I'm planning to make some jeans this year, I feel that this top will probably get a lot of wear, plus it's just going to be so roomy and snuggly and gorgeous. So that is number 9 of my Make 9 for my sewing projects. Whew, that is a lot to get through. Just talking about all of those makes me tired and makes me realise that I have a lot to be getting on with, but that's why it's exciting, because this project is for the entire year. There's slightly less pressure to be put on myself, and it means that if I kickstart the year and get a few garments done each month, that I'll be well on my way to get 9 different garments finished by the end of 2018. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're excited as I am about Make 9. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed, and hit the subscribe button to be kept up to date as to when there are new videos on the channel. It really does help in terms of promoting the channel and getting us seen by more people and just growing our beautiful online family. There will be another Make 9 video coming up tomorrow that will be all about all of the knitwear that I plan to make in 2018. I hope you all have an incredible day filled with sewing and knitting and all of that lovely stuff, and I will see you again here really, really soon. Bye!